Moving on, we have Mr. Akif as a student from Sultan Idris Education University. And finally, we have Mr. Afif as a school counselor. How are you all doing today?
Good.
I'm good, thank you.
I'm good.
I'm good too. Thank you.
All right, then, before we begin, let me give you a slightest about our topic. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress related to others and make choices. Mental health is important in every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Online classes affect the mental health of students, parents, and even teachers. For individuals who have existing mental health problems, it may worsen. Imagine how it is like for a kid to spend hours every day in front of Zoom or Google Meet without social interaction and playtime with their friends. Parents are now acting like teachers and they're more involved in their children's schoolwork. And for teachers and professors have increased their workloads and pressure to deliver quality learning without face-to-face classes. So my first question is for Miss Akasha. As a psychiatrist, how do others identify student mental health during this pandemic?
Thank you, moderator. Identifying student mental health during online learning during the pandemic. As all we know, coronavirus has afflicted the great majority of individuals all over the world. Aside from millions of people who has been afflicted with the disease, local and national government have asked or mandate that billions of people modify their habits. Previous studies on epidemics or traumatic occurrence has shown that this can result in significant behavioral and mental changes. So the first thing that should be seen is the change of behavioral. A change in personality refers to a difference in the way of what they think, act, or feel. Depending on their situation, it may simply be obvious to themselves, or it may be noticeable to those around them. In mental illness, personality change can be caused by a combination of genes, environments, and stress. It can also be caused by anxiety disorder. So, what causes the change? Personality change are a natural part of growing up. It might also be the outcome of therapy or conscious effort. However, personality change might be unwelcome, undesirable, or uncontrollable in some cases. It might be linked to an underlying mental disease or brain injury in some circumstances. So, it is important that family members to look for these changes. Mood swings are frequently an indication of more serious underlying health in many circumstances. They can arise as a result of variety of factors, including mental health illness, hormonal change, and drug abuse. It is common to have sad and happy days. Mood swings are regarded as normal as long as they don't negatively impact their life. However, if you notice that their mood go regularly from being overjoyed to being sad, then your child may have a medical issues. Mood swings that are severe and frequent should be reported to doctors. The last one is feeling anxious. Feeling anxious can lead to anxiety disorder. This is the most common disorder. It is difficult to get through the day when they are anxious. Nervousness, panic, and terror are common symptoms, as are perspiration and a racing heart. It is normal to feel anxious. And anxiety disorder, on the other hand, goes beyond the normal worry, fear you may experience from time to time. Anxiety disorder occur when something's provoke their emotion, and then they frequently overreact. So when it comes to assessing your child anxiety level, getting stuck is important. It distinguishes between the normal anxieties of children and anxiety condition that needs professional assistance. If your child fears or concern is interfering with his or her capacity to function, it may time to seek professional help. So the bottom line is that since they will be at home most of the time, it is important that parents take note and look for the sign. But please don't self-diagnose and seek help from professional if necessary. Thank you.
Thank you for the explanation, Miss Akasha. And how about you, Miss Lakshmi? Since you are a mother of a student, what would you do if your child facing mental health and what you do to overcome that?
Okay, thank you for the question. Okay, what I will do as a mother to overcome it is, I will to over what plan get kids getting involved in extracurriculums, so they can be it can be so beneficial. Then and I plan for more vacations, so maybe they can make a quality time with families. And one more thing, if our children are what uh, difficult to sharing things with with parents, their parents or their close with the close one, so we need to lead our ears to ask them willing to speak with who maybe they can uh, maybe the child can comfortable talking to the people they prefer. So it's the a better thing, I think it's to overcome the mental health from the child. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your sharing, Ms. Lakshmi. All right, Mr. Akif. As a student, what causes or factors that lead to student mental health during this online learning?
Thank you, moderator, for the question. Talking about mental health is not a new thing and has been affected not just students but all walks of life even before this pandemic COVID-19. It is something that we cannot take easy, especially for students that is too young to go through this and should not have mental problem. But the reality is today there is students that experience this. It cannot see from outside, but the person will feel pain inside themselves. As a student myself, I can feel a bit what they go through during online learning in many aspects. In my view, there are several factors that leads to student mental health during online learning. First is family matters. Students that have problem with their family surely will affect their focus and mental health during online learning at home. Family matters like parents quarrel, divorce, and others related will make students feel uneasy to study at home. They will not have a conducive to do online learning. They will feel depression to think about their family's future and they might abandon their studies. This is not a good result for their future as well as their mental state. Next is burden of assignment. Some students maybe complain about lecture that given a lot of assignment during the online learning. Uh, the lecture may be unaware of the student condition and do not know what students should have to go through. Students that have internal problem will feel this assignment as a burden for them, especially hard question. Some students are also working as a part-timer to accommodate their family that have financial problem. They will have less time to do a lot of assignment, even I feel stressed to think about a lot of things like studies and life during this pandemic. Lastly is stress or depression. Stress can be translated in many aspects. Online learning makes students face their gadget like laptop and phone for hours. That's not good for our health. We need to take some rest from gadget and take some fresh air outside to release all of the tension rise. Some students do online learning. Some lecturers do online classes for 3 hours straight without have a break. Some lecturers also do not think about student internet connection. Stress also can make some people do unpredicted things such as suicide. Students are also not smart from doing that. I think that's all from my view. Thank you.
Thank you for your sharing, Mr. Akif. And lastly, Mr. Afif, I want to ask you, as a school counselor, how to overcome student mental health during this online learning.
Thank you, moderator, for the question. One of the steps to overcome student mental health during online learning is by talking to someone. In this pandemic era, most of the students can easily getting stressed due to online learning. Besides that, this will lead to depression. Depression can have an extremely negative impact on your happiness. Accepting that you need help and talking to someone is often the first step to feeling better. Speak to your friends and family. They know you best and care about you the most. Try socializing with a friend just once a week. This can help to reduce your stress levels and improve your mood as much as therapy or counseling. Next is time management. Due to COVID-19 pandemic, we all know that everything needs to be done online, including school and universities. All learning sessions need to be go to online. Some students often get stressed when they running out of time to complete their tasks. This is because they do not have a proper time management in managing their tasks and other things. This will lead to getting stressed because of too much thinking of their work. However, simple time management techniques can help you to feel more relaxed and focused. Finally, getting enough sleep. Maintaining a sleep routine is important to mental health and managing stress, especially for students who going to online learning. Taking time to relax before you go to sleep can help the quality of your sleep. Try to go to sleep at the same time and wake up at the same time each day. 7 to 8 hours is recommended and try to avoid sleep late as it will give damage to your mental health. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the explanation, Mr. Afif. So, as conclusion, online programs continue to expand and the numbers of distance students increase. So does the need for a full array of student services available to online students. The stress of college courses can lead to emotional distress in students whether they are in traditional classrooms or in distant education classes. For this reason, it is essential that college and university administrators develop mental health and wellness resources for faculty and students. Investing in the creation of campus policies, which acknowledge the mental distress and illness occur, and prevention of training for faculty in dealing with these student problems can increase the retention and success of online students. Therefore, we have come to an end of this webinar session. For those who have questions, you may drop your question in the chat box below. Thank you. So we have a question here. I have a question. What can a parent do when they feels like their child is losing interest? I think Mix Lakshmi can answer this.
Okay. Okay, the most thing important thing is to listen to their problem. Okay, need to consider their problem and need to solve them if can. And don't force them to do things that they don't want. Let them to do what they love to do. It may bring them in better position in their future. Be there for them and get help if needed. Okay, that's thank you.
Is there any other question? All right. There's one more question. Since there is a recurring motive of mental health into the discussion, what are other possible alternatives for the student to address their issues in the case that they are more from a broken family or a dysfunctional school system? I think Miss Akasha can answer this.
Okay. So what they can do to address this is, I think all students, teenagers, they, we don't really talk to family, so maybe they can talk to their friends, their close one. If they trust their friend, make sure the friends can be trusted, and try to talk to them, and maybe after that trying to seek professional help. I think that's all.
Is there any other question? Okay, so I see there's no more question. Thank you for joining us in this online webinar. I hope we can see in the other time. So that's all from us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. Bye bye.